Welcome back to Oblivion. Today we are joining Misplaced once again, but this time we get to do a lot more customization, and we're in Oblivion. I will be cutting through a lot of the voice acting in this playthrough just because it adds on to the playtime, and as I play through these challenges, I will likely cut through a lot of the voice acting just to save on time.
Let me see your face. You are the one from my dreams.
I'm doing what I normally do at the beginning. I am not going to be getting up skills that I don't want to level up because they don't matter. But we should probably go over the rules for the challenge. They're going to be much like the rules for the Morrowind challenge that I did last time, but to refresh you on those, I cannot use weapons. I also cannot use armor, and this time I will be restricting myself to only using spells that I can buy, because spell making is a little bit different in Oblivion, and it takes a lot more steps. I will not be achieving any of those steps, therefore I will not be able to make spells. Other than that, the goal is pretty simple. I just need to become the master of the Fighters Guild by completing all of the duties that the Fighters Guild offers. I'm going to go ahead and put up what duties they are on the screen, how many there are, and let's compare them to the number of duties in Morrowind. Wow, that's so cool how I can just do that and edit that in. Very, very nice. Good job. I suppose this is also a good time to mention that I streamed this run, and there is some live commentary that I decided to include because I found it fun. But how about I do one thing? There we go. Take off those sandals. So restricting. I am going to start with the lover. I will change it later.
Stranger.
Get him. Come on, Bowers. Get him. Yeah! Yeah! Good job, Bowers. But moving on to character creation, for my class at least, I'm going to stick with Mage. Mage has everything I want. I also switch to the Apprentice. Atronach is obviously better, but Apprentice is also funnier because I get extra weaknesses to magic. We're going to run over to Anvil immediately and talk to Azan, both to join the Fighters Guild and pick up our first quest. The first quest is going to be dealing with a rat problem. The rat problem isn't the same problem that you might normally expect a rat problem to be. The person we're helping actually has quite an affinity for rats. She has several of them as pets in her basement, and they're being terrorized by mountain lions. So we need to go and take care of those mountain lions for her with fireballs, because that's the spell that I have right now. I spent a little bit of time buying some spells from around, but not that much. After this first quest, we can head over to Cheydinhal, where Burz-gro gives us a contract where we need to take some weapons into a mine. I had to keep redoing this mission because for whatever reason I couldn't get these people to stay alive, and you do get a bonus for keeping them all alive. I was relieved when I finally got it to work.
Thanks, friend.
Good enough.
We can head back to Anvil, and Azan will give us another mission. This time we need to help a local merchant in Anvil. He has been having break-ins in his store at night, and we have to confront and stop the thieves. Unfortunately, it seems like all of these thieves are former employees, and they don't want to face justice for what they've done. They just want to fight it out. But I've brought enough fire for everyone, so then it's time to return to... We get our first crash of the challenge instead. Then it's time to return to Azan.
You're needed in Coral.
So we head to Coral. Modron informs us that Maglir has been defaulting on contracts, so we need to pick up his slack. I don't understand what was so difficult about this contract. I just ran into a cave and killed a few rats. The most threatening thing here were a few undead. I joked a lot while I was live that Maglir is a waste of space and that nobody loves him. He's just not a very likable character. This mission was very easy. Him defaulting on it is sort of bad news for the Fighters Guild, and they should have just kicked this wood elf to the curb as soon as he started defaulting on contracts. Zombie.
Father was. You? You wouldn't know a good sword if it stabbed you in the throat.
Get your men out of here.
These fighters are getting really drunk and out of control because there's very little work for the Fighters Guild to do, especially as far south as Leowin. Leowin is where a new Fighters Guild of sorts has been forming, that being the Blackwood Company. These fighters just want some work to do so that they're not bored. We just need to find them work, and luckily Agartha is willing to hire them to find ogre teeth and minotaur horns. Back to Modron.
You've done well. I don't have anything
I'm
for
a swordsman.
You right now. Or perhaps you
I
too.
haven't even touched a sword in my life. Then it's back to some normal contract work. Burz sends us back down to Leowin to help this woman deal with a debt.
Guild. I'm glad you're here. I need your help to repay a debt. To pay the debt, I'd like to sell the sword and armor of my grandfather, or I might be next.
I opt to just give her the money and keep the gear. Then more contract work.
I'm not sure the numbers you'll be dealing with, so I'm sending you with another new recruit. Maglir.
Looks like we're working together.
He is unfortunately an essential NPC right now. So I get a couple levels before I go to work with Maglir. I missed a few levels in between, not really that big a deal. I'm starting to think maybe Maglir is just afraid of the undead, because this is something that we easily could have done with one person, but, you know, whatever.
Cleared them out, did you? Good work, you two. I see big things for you with the guild.
He's half asleep.
I've been told to send you to Coral for some duty.
Back to Coral again. This time we need to investigate a cave where the Blackwood Company had a mission that clashed with a Fighters Guild mission. The cave is filled with trolls. Luckily, the guild leader's son is immortal, and we find a shield that proves the Blackwood Company has been doing some bad things with the Fighters Guild. We get to go fix Maglir's problems again. This time we need to collect 10 samples of imp gall. Really not that hard, they're imps. And then back to Modron in order to get more special duties.
We were contracted by a wizard, Argoth, to recover an artifact from Blackheart. I went in there with 20 men. I left with 5. Vitellis wasn't one of them. He died covering our retreat.
Damn.
I snooped around. Apparently, they completed that contract for us. I went in there with 20 good men. I can't believe that bunch finished the job. There's more. Argoth, he's dead. The artifact gone. Sounds like a setup. Maybe they made a deal with Blackheart. I don't know. But I'll find out.
So we go to an elven ruin. This is the same elven ruin that Modron was talking about. Unfortunately, it seems pretty vacant. There's some rats and mud crabs around. There's a deeper level as well, but there's no reason to go there because Modron realizes what we're looking for isn't here. Because Azani likes the Ayleid ruins found around Cyrodiil, he figures maybe just up the road at the next ruin, he'll be there. And sure enough, there's Azani. Luckily, Azani goes down pretty easily. I find myself a new outfit that matches my beautiful skin tone, and I can continue some of this contract work. I need to escort a rather enthusiastic researcher through this cave because there's a ruined Daedric shrine at the end of it.
I think I'll study this shrine a bit longer.
Yeah, you do that. A couple more levels. Here's level 11. Still splitting my stuff between int and willpower here. Then I need to head to Bloodmane Cave. Uh-oh. Yeah, I kind of forget I'm made out of toilet paper sometimes. Anyway, just another clear out the cave and see what you find mission. I feel like almost every single Fighters Guild mission here is one of those, but because of the way the looting system works, it stays fun for as long as you have it going in the Fighters Guild. After this, Modron has some duties for you. He wants you to check on the Guildmaster's son, and unfortunately, he's been killed in a clash with, once again, the Blackwood Company. The Blackwood Company is swiftly becoming an issue, and we need to put an end to it. But first, a few more contracts.
I've got news for you. Velena wasn't happy when she heard about Varanus.
Yeah.
No shock there. She expelled Orion from the guild. It's a damn shame. And you've been demoted to the rank of Defender. Hell, even I don't think you deserve that. But it is what it is. Move on.
That's okay.
Look, I can't...
That's fine.
I've got more for you. Important stuff, actually. You need to go talk to Lord Rugdumph.
Ah, you are from the Fighters Guild, I resume. Let us conversate on the Lady Rugbutt. I fear that whilst out rock-picking, she was apprehensive, stolen away.
He was
My
apprehensive.
suspicion is that ogres have objected her.
Glad you killed those things. I'd have done it myself, but apparently that's not ladylike.
You found my belabored daughter.
Belabored
I will
daughter.
tell Burz-gro about your indentures.
Now, this is the quest that was really annoying. This is the mystery at Harloon's Watch. I couldn't figure out how to hit these will-o-wisps reliably with my spells, so there were two things I tried to do. The first thing I tried to do was run around and get some new spells. First I got a new summon spell, then I got a better fire spell, and some healing. There were a few other ones, but they're not too important. I was still having some trouble hitting the will-o-wisps with my fire spells, so I thought the next best thing to do would be to run these enemies into Shadenhall, where the guards can help me take care of them. And that worked out okay. I think I wound up killing more guards than I should have, but that's okay.
I don't know you, and I don't care to know. I don't know you, and I don't care.
I was very much hoping there weren't more wisps inside the cave, and luckily it just seems like there's a bunch of trolls. I unfortunately didn't realize that I had my weaker fire spell on, so I didn't actually start using the stronger fire spell until much later in the game, when it would have come in handy here immensely, but you know, oops. After that, it's off to Anvil for one last contract.
There's one last contract.
I'm ready for it.
I've only got one more thing on my plate for you, but it's an important one. The Stone of St. Alessia has been stolen from Bruma Chapel. Talk to Sirach in Bruma. He'll fill you in on the details. Greetings, my friend. A group of men was seen leaving the chapel.
Well, shit.
A group of men was seen leaving the chapel the night the stone was stolen.
So I assume you're the one who's been sent to track us down.
I'm the only one that survived. If you want the stone, head to Cyrodiil.
It's not far from here. Here, I'll mark it on your map.
Seator wasn't too bad. It was mainly filled with ogres, but they're big and slow, so they're not very difficult to kite around. I was able to get a few Welkin stones that were within reach, and there was some random loot in here that wasn't too bad.
Well done. You've put in good work for me. I only wish I had... I've nothing else for you, and I don't believe Burz has any either. I think perhaps you'd better speak with our friend in Coral.
Yeah.
You've cleared every contract we've got on the books.
Yeah, I'm a champion.
That's some good work. You're now promoted to Champion of the Fighters Guild.
I'm the
you
champion.
You outrank me now, so there's certainly no more I can do for you. You might check with an old friend of yours, though.
I am the champion.
Rumor has it that Oraine's looking for you. You didn't hear it from me, though.
Back to Modron, there's just a little bit more we need to do, and most of it is stopping the Blackwood Company from operating. The first thing Modron wants is a little bit more information, so he sends us to a cave where he knows one of their higher-ups is hiding out right now. Okay, here's how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna shoot him with a fireball. Oh god! They're after me, Lucky Charms! Yeah, I didn't realize firing a fireball at one of them would aggro the entire dungeon. It seems like the remaster did a pretty good job fixing the AI, because this was pretty normal in vanilla Oblivion, but Oblivion Remaster really seemed like it fixed the sort of hive mind mentality enemies and guards had, but maybe they missed this particular dungeon. It's fine though. All I have to do is string them out, get their melee fighters to come at me. I can dip outside in order to heal up a little bit to give myself a bit of a reprieve, but then they send the troops out slowly and I can just take them out in smaller groups outside. Once I take care of the group that comes out to meet me in battle outside, then I just dip inside again and repeat. Not much to it. It's really just lots of back and forth. I also decided to take most of the items that the enemies are dropping here to make some money. I'm really going to need that money if I'm going to be able to accomplish that side goal that I set for myself of owning the house in Coral. We also get a level in between trips here. I'm finally able to start leveling something up other than intelligence and willpower, but then it's back to the fray. And luckily it's only a couple archers that are left. So it's easy enough to just kind of run around them a little bit unpredictably to try to get some of their shots to miss, but failing and eating a bunch of arrows to the face and just healing it off. Again, this location's pretty nice because you can just retreat when you need to heal, and enemies don't punish you too hard for it because they have to run to catch you. With the last enemy finally dead, we can confront this boss of the Blackwood Company.
What do you want? Get out. Fine, fine. I'll come with you.
He surrenders pretty easily, and now we just have to convince him that what he's doing is bad and that we need some information so we can stop it. I did not resort to torture, I just used some charm spells and some speechcraft.
This. I shouldn't say anymore, but you have treated me so well. Perhaps I can trust you. Forgive me, my master. It is Ri'Zakar. He leads us, and he will have your head. He will kill you all.
No.
Nothing more. I chose death. Long live the Blackwood Company.
Yes. I get his ring of silence. This is the funniest ring. I get the ring that kills you. At this point, I have enough money to actually purchase Arbor Watch, which is the name of the house in Coral. Very exciting stuff here. Just having the deed is enough for now. Modron sends us to infiltrate the Blackwood Company by joining the Not Fighters Guild, and seeing how they run their missions. Jetum assures us we're going to do just fine and hands us a bottle of his sap. Slurp.
Moving! Kill the goblins! All of them!
This hiss sap is almost like a hallucinogenic, especially when used on non-Argonians and also when it's used on people that aren't really used to it. When we return to Water's Edge, we find everyone in the town slaughtered, including the sheep. But this is where we're going to get a couple more levels and confront the Blackwood Company. The mission is simple. We need to bust in the door, we have to kill everyone in the company building, and we need to destroy the hissed tree that the Blackwood Company has brought. So the battle's pretty dicey. There is one enemy that has a lot of spell support, and there is a second enemy that has a bow, and unfortunately in the late game, bows generally mean enchanted arrows, and with my horrible reaction to magic, not a good thing. Arrows tend to do a lot of damage to me. but it's nothing that a few summons can't help with. The summons provide a distraction, and then we rush in. This totally wasn't the 4th time that I went in here. Yes, it was. I just kept getting hit with stray lightning bolts from one of the NPCs or stray arrows from the other. It was really hard to find a place that had cover against 2 ranged combatants at the same time. But after that, we go upstairs, and we have to fight the boss, who's in his own room. Once again, this takes a couple tries. That hammer does an insane amount of damage, plus the cold damage on it. But I eventually decide that paralysis magic is probably my best friend here, because if he can't move, then he can't hit me, and it's over pretty quickly after that. So then it's into the basement to find the Hist tree. The Hist tree has a couple of guards surrounding it. They go down pretty easy, and we shove a couple pipes in the gears and watch the Hist tree burn. But there's one more surprise on our way out. Alrighty.
You've ruined everything.
Oh, it's you.
Why? I had a job. I had a home. You've taken it all. I'll kill you for this.
You don't want to do that.
Well done. With that tree gone, the Blackwood Company is just another band of mercenaries. You should tell Velena Daunton what has happened.
But with that completed, we can claim our spot as Master of the Fighters Guild. Well, here's the other goal I had. This is the Coral House. I have a few trinkets around from my exploits in the Fighters Guild. You might recognize some of it. A lot of it is weapons and armors, but I'm not allowed to use weapons and armors, so they're mainly just trinkets and things to look at for this character. Overall, this was a pretty fun experience. I can't help but think 18 missions seems like far too few to just have an entire organization accept you as a leader. If that's all it took, I feel like both Azan and Burz-gro definitely could have been the Master of the Fighters Guild before me. With Morrowind, it at least seemed like you were almost being used as an instrument of change, sort of forcing your way into the position, and your main accomplice in that was Perseus Mercius, because he was sick of seeing the Fighters Guild basically just turn into an extension of the Kimona Tong, so he just brings an outsider in and supports him and sort of uses you to crush the opposition. Personally, I prefer Morrowind over just about everything, but I can't admit the quests in Oblivion were nice and streamlined, and it felt good to play them. For the quest line in Morrowind, there's a lot more reading between the lines. I don't think you really realize you're basically being used as a political pawn until you're the guildmaster of the Fighters Guild in Morrowind, whereas in Oblivion, it's much more of a story of redemption for the Fighters Guild. This other guild is sort of getting in and taking over, and it sucks, but you can kind of help them get back on their feet and set them in a new direction. So what kind of arbitrary rating can I give this? Let's just give them an out of 10 rating. I would rate Morrowind's Fighter Guild experience, I think an 8 out of 10. I really like how it really takes you all over the map. It is very expansive. And Oblivion's Fighters Guild, I would rate it a 7.5 out of 10, because while I didn't like it quite as much as Morrowind's, I think it did a very good job trying. It did enough trying to be different, had some interesting quests. I definitely think that this quest line was worth doing and fun. But that's it for this video. This was a fun video to make. Maybe one day I'll even do the Companions questline in Skyrim, and Misplaced will return. Except then she'll be a werewolf, and that's gonna be weird. But whatever. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed yourself here. If you did, feel free to leave a like on the video. It does help. And subscribe if you want to follow these silly adventures. But that's it for now. Until next time, goodbye.